stick. It's a bit getting old. All my lights and reflectors are the proper color, none are cracked or missing. There's no puddles underneath this truck to indicate a leak, and there's no debris. The truck is not leaning left or right to indicate a suspension problem. Okay. Nice being quiet out here, isn't it? Okay. Now remember, before you say properly mounted on your parts, say whether it's belt or gear driven. Once again, hoses will cut and leak, wires will crack and fray, solid metal will crack or bend. Okay? Only thing you use dented on is the brake chamber. Here we go. This is my alternator. It is belt driven, it's properly mounted, it's not cracked. Here's the wires to my alternator, they're properly mounted, they're not cracked or frayed. Right here is my belt. My belt's not cracked or frayed and has no more than 3/4 of an inch deflection. And down here is my water pump. My water pump is gear driven, it's properly mounted, not cracked or leaking. All the hoses to and from are properly mounted, not cut or leaking. This here is my coolant reservoir. As you can see, it's properly mounted, it's not cracked or leaking. I check it between min and max. If I need to add, I'd add right there. All the hoses to and from are properly mounted, not cut or leaking. All my wires and hoses on this side of the truck are properly mounted. They're not cut, cracked, frayed, or leaking. Go to the other side. All right. Here's my dipsticks where I check my oil, check between min and max. If I needed to add, I'd add it right there. Okay. This here is my air compressor. It is gear driven. It's properly mounted, not cracked or leaking. And you can see all the hoses to and from are properly mounted, not cut or leaking. Way down in there is my power steering pump. It is gear driven. It's properly mounted, not cracked or leaking. And all the hoses to and from are properly mounted, not cut or leaking. Power steering reservoir, you can see that's properly mounted. It's not cracked or leaking. Check it between min and max. If I had to add, I'd add right there. Okay, all the hoses to and from properly mounted, not cut or leaking. Steering shaft, properly mounted, not cracked or bent, and it is not loose. Steering gearbox, properly mounted, not cracked or leaking. All the hoses to and from are properly mounted, not cut or leaking. Pitman arm, drag link, tie rod end, properly mounted, not cracked or bent. The castle nuts and cotter pins are present and tight. Okay, now we're going to do suspension, brakes, and then the tires. Front and rear leaf spring hangers, properly mounted, not cracked or bent. Leaf springs, properly mounted, not cracked or shifted. U-bolts and mounts, properly mounted, not cracked, and all the bolts are present and tight. Shock absorber, properly mounted, not cracked or leaking. Shock absorber mounts are properly mounted, not cracked or bent. Okay, now you're going to go onto your brakes. Brake lines, properly mounted, not cut or leaking. Brake chamber, properly mounted, not cracked or dented. My slack adjuster and push rod with the cotter pin in place is properly mounted, and if I need to check, I would chalk my wheels, release my brakes, and have no more than 1 inch of play. Okay, brake drums and linings are properly mounted, they're not cracked, they're not excessively wore, and they are free of debris. Okay, do the ABCs on your tires, no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. Front is no less than 4/32 of an inch. Okay, here's my rim. Rim's properly mounted, it's not cracked or bent, and there's no illegal welds. All my lug nuts are present and tight. If not, there'll be shininess or rust streaks right in here to indicate looseness. So here's a hub seal. It's properly mounted. It's not cracked or leaking. I'd check it here. If you need to add, I'd add right there. Okay. Valve stem and cap. Cap is present and tight. The valve stem is not cracked or leaking. If I had a tire gauge, I'd check this to manufacturer's specs. Once you're done with that tire, we're going to shut the hood down. Okay. Then we're going to come over here and say, this here's my mirror. Mirror is properly mounted, it's not cracked or missing. This is my door. The door opens and closes, it latches and unlatches. The hinges appear to hold the weight of the door. Okay? My steps and my catwalk. Okay, properly mounted, all the bolts are present, and it appears to hold my weight. Okay? So here's my fuel tank. You can see it's properly mounted, the cap is present and tight. There's no puddles underneath to indicate a leak, and as you can see, there's no shininess around these straps to indicate a loose tank. Okay? Now you're going to open your door. You say, Mr. Examiner, I got a 10-pound BC fully charged fire extinguisher here on the floor. I got 3 reflective triangles on that side of the truck. And if this is a fuse truck, I'd have spare fuses right here in the door. Can you please step inside so I can continue my pre-trip? You guys might want to shift over this way a little bit. So now, you get in the truck, first thing you pass is your seatbelt. Say my seatbelt extends and retracts, it latches and unlatches, it's not cut or frayed. Okay, now we're going to go up high. Windshield, properly mounted, not cracked, and there's no illegal stickers. Then do your mirrors again. Mirrors properly mounted, not cracked or missing, and they're adjusted to my driving view. Okay. Now once you're done up high, this is where you want to perform a safe start. Mr. Examiner, now I'd like to go ahead and perform a safe start. And what a safe start is, my spring brakes are applied, pull on them, show them. Okay, truck's in neutral, show them that's in neutral. I'm going to push this clutch in. When I start this truck, that oil pressure gauge will rise within 5 seconds. If it doesn't, I'm going to shut the truck off. No oil pressure, you're going to blow it up, right? Okay. My ABS light will come on and go off. Okay. Now, start it up. Oil pressure rises. Say, there you go. Oil pressure rose within 5 seconds. That ABS light came on and stayed on. Okay. Now, you just finished your safe start. That's start to finish. Finished. Okay. Now, since you're talking about the gauges, we'll go ahead and do the gauges. Okay, water temperature rose to proper temperature. My volts are between 12 and 15. Primary and secondary air gauges rose and shut off between 120 and 125. Okay. Now to finish your gauges, turn your lights on. There you go. My dash lights are working properly. Work your way towards you. Okay. Four-way flashers are working properly. Left turn, right turn. High beam indicator. You pull on this like that. High beam indicator. Oh, where's your hand? Right on the wipers. Turn the wipers on. See, there you go. My wipers work properly. They're not cut or messy. And you push this in, guys, and they got plenty of washer fluid. Okay? Now, city horns right in the center, air horns right over here on the left. Okay? Now, you're done in front of you. Now, we're going to work our way towards that examiner. The next thing you got is your defroster. Turn it on, show them. Heater. Turn on, show them. Next thing past that is your brakes. Okay? Brake test. Now, Mr. Examiner, I like to perform my brake test. The way I'm going to do that is I'm going to take and put this truck in first gear for the whole test, start to finish. Okay? I'm going to push that red valve in, which means I'm going to check my tractor brakes. Right foot needs to be on the floor, guys. Don't have it on that service brake. Right foot on the floor. Give it a slight tug. Push the clutch back in. Tractor brakes are working properly. Now pull that red valve out, push the yellow one in. So now I'm checking my trailer brakes. We're going to do the same thing. Slight tug. As soon as the truck leans, push it back, push the clutch back in. Trailer brakes are working properly. Now, sir, I'm going to check my service brake or my foot pedal, whatever you want to call it. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to push the brakes in. I'm going to pull 3 to 5 feet forward, apply the brake, and the truck will not pull to the left or right. Pull the truck up, hit the brake. There you go, sir. It's working properly. My truck did not pull left or right. When you say the word right, shut the key off. Put both feet on the floor, turn the key to the on position. Sir, with both my feet on the floor, I will not lose more than 3 pounds of air in 60 seconds. Sit there. 15 or 20 seconds. Can I continue? Yep, go ahead. Okay? Now I'm going to put my foot on the service brake. And with my foot on the service brake, I'm not going to lose more than 4 pounds of air in 60 seconds. Sit there. 15 or 20 seconds. Don't say it right away. If you say it right away, he will make you wait the whole minute. Okay? So give him a little time to get bored. Sir, can I continue? Yes, go ahead. Okay? Now, I'm going to pump this service brake down to 60 pounds of air. I'm going to get an audio and visual warning signal. Okay, pump it down. Audio and visual comes on. Say, sir, there's audio and visual. Now I'm going to pump it down between 20 and 40, and those spring brakes are going to pop out. Point at them. Don't touch them. Okay? Watch them. Don't look at anything else. Watch the spring brakes. Pump it down. The red one popped, but the yellow one didn't. Oh, shit. Keep pumping it down. Keep pumping it down until it pops. When they both pop, say, there you go, sir. That's working properly. That concludes my brake test. Can you please get out and check my front lights? Okay? Now, just a reminder, if he says, you sure you want me to get out of the truck? Say, no. I'm going to put it in neutral, start the truck back up, rev it up to 1500 on the tag, and think of what did I miss on that brake test? Okay? Guys, please, if they say, are you sure you want me to get out of the truck? Don't say yes. Because he's telling you, you failed your brake test. That, he's going to take you, if you say yes, he's going to take you in the building, and he's going to make you reschedule your test, and that will suck. Okay? So figure out what you did wrong. And you guys ain't going to do nothing wrong because you're at night class. So anyways, now he's out front. You got your head out the window. Let's start up high. Clearance lights. We're going to do all the hard ones. Headlights, high beams, left turn, right turn, four-way flasher. Okay, sir, can you go back, check the rear of my truck and my trailer? And by the way, when you go back there, you make sure all the side lights are working. Okay, he goes back there, he says, all your side lights are working. Okay, start up high. Clearance lights. Running lights, brake lights, left turn, right turn, four-way flashers. Okay, sir, can you please come up here so I can continue my pre-trip? Now, you're going to shut your key off, turn your lights off, step out of the truck. Okay? Now, we're going to come over here, we're going to say, this is my exhaust. As you can see, it's properly mounted. There's no soot around those clamps to indicate a leak. And bring your stick straight down. Here's my drive shaft. It's properly mounted. It's not cracked or bent. It's not loose. Okay? My frame, my cross member, not cracked or bent, and there's no illegal welds. Okay? Air lines properly mounted to the truck and the trailer. They're not cut or leaking. Glad hands properly mounted. They're not cut or leaking. And inside here I got rubber grommets. They're not cracked or missing. Right here, my electric line is properly mounted to the truck and the trailer. And you can see it's not cracked or frayed. So since we're up here, let's go here. Bulkhead and side panels. All the panels are present. No holes or wavy panels. And all the rivets are present. Okay. Upper and lower frame rails, not cracked or bent, and all the rivets are present. Take this and go bam, right under here. One thing under here is my apron. My apron's properly mounted. It's not wavy and it has no rust holes. Okay? Your skid plate slides on that, so you want it to be flat. You don't want it to be wavy. Okay? And you definitely don't want no rust holes or it'll fall through. See what I'm saying? So it's not wavy and there's no rust holes. Okay? Now you're going to come down here and you're going to say, this here's my fifth wheel skid plate. It's properly mounted to the truck. There's no gap between the apron and the skid plate. This here is my locking arm, and as you can see, it's in a locked position. Speaking of lock, they got locking pins right there. They're in the locked position, they're not cracked or bent. This long thing right here is called my platform. It's properly mounted to the truck frame. All the bolts are present and tight. Okay? Now we're going to do suspension, brakes, and tires. You guys are getting familiar with this. Okay? Front rear leaf spring hangers, properly mounted, not cracked or bent. Leaf springs and torque arm, properly mounted, not cracked or shifted. My damn U-bolts and mounts that most people forget are properly mounted, they're not cracked, and all the bolts are present and tight. Back here I got shock absorbers and airbags, right there. Properly mounted, not cracked or leaking. Shock absorber and airbag mounts are properly mounted, they're not cracked or bent. Okay? Then we're going to go to the brakes. Brake line, properly mounted, not cut or leaking. Brake chamber, big round thing, properly mounted, not cracked or dented. My slack adjuster and push rod with the cotter pin in place. Properly mounted. If I was to check it, I chalk the wheels, release the brakes, and have no more than what?
1 inch of play.
1 inch of play. There you go. Okay, brake drums and linings. They are properly mounted, they're not cracked, they're not excessively worn, they're free of what?
Debris.
You guys are rocking. Free of debris. Okay? These are Bud Space wheels. There's no illegal spacers and no debris. Do the ABCs. My tires have no abrasions, bulges, or cuts, and no less than 2/32 of an inch of tread. Okay, so here's my rim. Rim's properly mounted, it's not cracked or bent, no illegal welds. All my lug nuts are present and tight, not to be shininess or rust streaks to indicate looseness. Axle seal, properly mounted, not cracked or leaking. Valve stem and cap, the cap is present and tight. Valve stem's not cracked or leaking. If I had a tar gauge and check the manufacturer's specs. Okay? Once you're done with this wheel, point up inside the fifth wheel. Say, up in the middle of my fifth wheel up there, sir. I got a kingpin. It's probably mounted to the trailer. It's not cracked or bent. And the locking jaws are locked securely around the kingpin. Okay. Now we're going to do this whole section. Mud flaps, properly mounted, not cut or missing. Lights, proper color, not cracked or missing. Under here, cross members for my floor. The way to remember cross members, they go across your truck. Not cracked or bent, and the floor is properly mounted and there's no holes. Okay? Landing gear, properly mounted, not cracked or bent. Landing gear pads, properly mounted, no debris. Landing gear handle, properly mounted, it's in the stowed position. Come out here and say all my lights and reflectors on this side of my truck and trailer are the proper color, none are cracked or missing. Come on back. Sir, this box indicates to me that this is a sliding, air-assisted tandem trailer. If it wasn't a sliding, air-assisted trailer, I'd have a handle here in the locked position. By the way, sir, speaking of locked, I got me some locking pins up here. And as you can see, they're in the locked position and they're not cracked or bent. Okay? Now, I got a torque arm hanger and a torque arm right there, properly mounted, not cracked or bent. Remember, guys, solid metal, cracked or bent. Move on. Properly mounted, cracked or bent. Okay? My damn U-bolts and mounts up in there. They're properly mounted, they're not cracked, and all the bolts are present and tight. Shocks and airbags, properly mounted, not cracked or leaking. Shock and airbag mounts, properly mounted, they're not cracked or bent. Okay? Brake lines, properly mounted, not cut or leaking. Brake chambers and big round things up front, properly mounted, they're not cracked or dented. Slack adjuster and push rod with the cotter pin in place, it's properly mounted. If I was to check that, I'd chalk the wheels, release the brakes, and have no more than 1 inch of play. Brake drums and linings, properly mounted, they're not cracked, they're not excessively worn, they're free of debris. Okay? These are what kind of wheels?
Bud wheels.
Bud Space wheels. Okay, there's no illegal spacers in the middle, and there's no debris. Okay, tires have no abrasions, bulges, or cuts. No less than 2/32 of an inch of tread. My rim, properly mounted, not cracked or bent, has no illegal welds. All my lug nuts are present tight. If not, there'll be shininess or rust streaks to indicate looseness. My hub seal, properly mounted, I cracked leaking. If I was to check, I check there. If I was to add, I'd add right there. Valve stem and cap. Cap is tight, present. Valve stem's not cracked or leaking. I had a tar gauge, I'm checking the manufacturer's. I would do this axle just like I did that axle. My mud flap, properly mounted, it's not cut or missing. This here indicates to me this is the ABS assisted trailer, and that's the proper color of handle. Speaking of lights, all my lights and reflectors back here are the proper color, none are cracked or missing. This here is my door. Do it just like your front door. My door opens and closes, it latches and unlatches. There's no holes, and all the panels are present. Okay? Tension cables, as you can see, they're at the proper tension. They're not cracked or frayed. This here's my ramps. My steps and my ramp. Properly mounted, locking pins in place, ramps in the stove position. Sir, I would do this side just like I did that side. How much time do I have?